happens, it's usually two places. New Era and Tea Party. These are usually where the chaos truly is allowed to take form. So ultimately it's a question of what form will the chaos take in this set?
As we go to Kalos for game one of Sylvalotl versus Hollow, Banjo versus Game & Watch. Coming out was the Wandering straight away as Hollow just looking to try and get something going, but don't quite know what he's expecting to get going without Wandering on such a big stage, Scores.
We mentioned Chaos, but it appears we've already found our Chaos incarnate, because that was quite the ecstatic start, to say the least.
If Hollow's going to pull out more things like that, I'm excited to see what else he's got cooking in there.
Exactly. Might be cooking different food, but it might be the exact sort of spice we need.
But Game & Watch Banjo, not a matchup I'm too familiar with myself. I expect to see a lot of the bucket to use to reflect the grenades, though. Banjo, I imagine, has a tough time in this matchup sometimes with the amount of options that Game & Watch has.
That two-frame was immaculate! That was incredible, the timing, the positioning, everything. That was beautiful, and that's exactly what you need to do against Game & Watch. Because although their neutral is can be very jarring to play against, and their recovery is very good, they're very susceptible off stage, and they're very light. So if you get that timing down, you can just explode them.
Yes.
That's exactly what Hollow did.
Scores, I think I'm already a Hollow fan.
I think I'm already a Hollow fan too.
It's been a minute and 2 seconds. I think I'm already a fan of this player.
I think this is the first speedrun I've ever seen for someone to get people to be fans of them. Because I am a big fan at the moment. The awareness right there, using the grenade to bait out the bucket and be like, you know what? I got this. You've fallen into my trap cards. Perish.
Hollow looks so confident, just seems to know exactly what he wants to do, what his game plan is, knows what he wants to hard punish, and when he's going to punish it, he knows how to do that. Doesn't quite manage to get a connection on that punish on the Game & Watch coming back to the ledge, though. But what does Sylvalotl have? He's just trying to get something going with the normal Game & Watch tools, but Hollow's just not interacting with the normal Game & Watch stuff, but instead going, I'm going to wait. I know when I can punish things. Right there, that's when I can punish things.
The patience is truly immaculate, as you said, because Sylvalotl is currently trying to force the default Game & Watch game plan, which is very strong, to be fair. Don't get me wrong. It's probably one of the strongest game plans in this game.
Yes.
However, the dash shield upbeats, then jump in nairs. However, this causes him to swing first. And Hollow, playing very patient right now, is like, you know what? I see you in my range. I'm just going to walk back a little bit. I'm going to punish it. And it proves time and time again very, very reliable. But unfortunately, once Sylvalotl gets to that hit, he's very, very unlikely to let go because Hollow can't find an answer back to stage.
And there's no Wanderings left, I believe, using them all earlier to try and get punishes, so not managing to get back to ledge for free there. But doesn't really matter too much when you already had managed to get a 2-stock lead for yourself, now only a full stock, but a full stock is still a lot to work with. And now the Wanderings back on deck again. I expect to see Hollow go for something a bit wacky with so many to play with in the next stock.
Indeed, indeed. Something else I'm really liking here is the horizontal pressure that Hollow is presenting. Because quite often the main way to beat Game & Watch is the horizontal player. And Banjo loves their grabs, they love their nairs, they love their dash attacks. But right now we're mostly just seeing like the down tilt pokes, the back airs, and on occasion, when the read is there, the side Bs. And ultimately, it's working out pretty well, but it's a question of what will Sylvalotl's response be to this?
Yeah, Hollow just seems very good at knowing when the side B can't really be punished too well by Game & Watch either. So knowing, well, if this hits, it's great, but if not, I've got enough of these left, it doesn't really matter. But it's getting a juggled a bit here, already up to 88%, but I say that, and Sylvalotl is actually the one off stage at 100% already. Does Hollow have the kill in him? And it does look like Wandering is going to take the first game.
Indeed, indeed.
I'm a big fan of this player, Scores.
I like Hollow. I'm a bit real. I like Hollow's gameplay. I like Hollow's gameplay already. I'm a fan of Sylvalotl, but I really like Hollow's gameplay right now. The patience, the positioning, the stage control, I like it.
When someone just starts a game and go, hey, do you respect me?
That's perfect, bro. It's immediately just getting inside the head, being like, you know what? Maybe I could just start off a little bit crazy, you know. What are you going to do about it?
Yeah, I love those options. It's just, are you going to respect that this is an option, or are you going to get hit for 30? Exactly. And Sylvalotl did respect it, to be honest, but I think that kind of encompasses what we saw from Hollow in the rest of the game. It's like, are you going to respect me? Because if you don't respect me, I'm going to hard punish you for every mistake you made. But we are on to FD for Game 2 Scores. What can we see out of Sylvalotl to make adjustments after that Game 1 loss?
I believe Sylvalotl just needs to take their time a little bit more. Their advantage state is clearly very good. The big opening that they got the last game, they killed Hollow off of it. But the main problem is they don't get those, they're not able to find as many of these openings just because they're trying to force it a little bit too much. If they take their time instead of swinging into Hollow first, then they'll be able to just kind of land those openings more. And as a result, get more kills.
Yep.
But it all comes down to the tried and true dancer of patience.
Patience being the big thing in Smash Ultimate for sure. What do you think about the the cup use on grenades. Always, every time there's a grenade thrown, it feels like Sylvalotl's trying to reflect it, and sometimes it's getting punished for that, just trying to reflect it where it's not really safe to do so.
Indeed, indeed. Oh. But I think we can't let that slide. If it's not broke, don't fix it. That's exactly what Hollow implemented. Unfortunately, not finding many Wonder Wings left, so as a result, there's only one at the moment.
No, there's none left. We used the last one as well.
Really?
There are no Wonder Wings left. 5 back now, though. Sylvalotl is going to take the first stock of game 2. Hollow just seems to be having a bit of fun with it. I'm not quite sure where that Wonder Wing was for. Is looking for the 2-frame, not going to manage to get it. Nice patience out of Sylvalotl, but that Wonder Wing is actually going to take it up and even it up. No extra percent being taken by Sylvalotl on that stock.
Yeah, even though Sylvalotl's stock got taken, I liked what they did to bait out the F-smash. They adapted to the fact that they got called out before, so they double jumped to make it look like up B startup, and then just delayed it and then up B after. It was very, very good call out. But at the moment, we're seeing the adaptation working out. Sylvalotl's playing a little bit more of a patient game, so as a result, isn't presenting these openings that Hollow's able to just destroy them for. However, ultimately, it is going to be a case of what you're going to do when Hollow gets in as well.
Yeah, it seems that if you gave up a mistake once and Hollow finds a way in, I think the main thing is that Hollow only has 2 Wonder Wings left in this stock, though, and seems kind of very willing to just throw one out in neutral. And so if we run out, it could be a very difficult situation. Both players trading very evenly here in neutral. Another Wonder Wing coming out. Again, just another one out of disadvantage. Just saw an opportunity and took it, and I respect it, but you're running out of them this stock. You only have a finite amount of that move that you have in this kit.
Exactly. We've talked about the mana stock market, but the Wonder Wing stock market is even more volatile. Only 5 of them. You will make... It's closer to like an eBay sale for 5 different items.
But it doesn't matter if you're the one that wins the bid every time scores.
Exactly, it doesn't matter. Because Hollow seems to constantly be winning those bids. It doesn't matter that there's only 5 of them. I'm having to pay the less money for higher rewards. And ultimately, it's working out. So once again, the onus is on Sylvalotl to make that comeback right here, but that down smash is going to get them back into the game. We have an even game at the moment.
Yeah, much more even game from game 1. Game watch down smash, by the way, is not an okay move.
That move is ridiculous. None of his smash attacks are okay, but down smash especially. Can't roll behind him, can't roll in front of him, and in general, just the amount of time you're in that berry for is insane.
Yep, and if it misses the berry, it might just kill you off the side anyway.
Exactly. It sends at such a disgusting angle.
But Bucket is actually getting fairly full at this point. I wonder if we're actually going to see that come into play at one point during this set. Wonder Wing used out of disadvantage. Down smash, not going to bury.
We're seeing the patience. We're seeing the awareness from Sylvalotl being like, you know what? I see these openings I usually present, and I'm going to close them up just to bait and punish you. But
I like this change-up for sure out of Sylvalotl. It's being a lot more bait and punishy right there. Just goes Hollow looking for the punish, not managing to quite connect. Ooh, bit of a hard commitment there, though. Goes for the down smash.
Ooh, we're seeing a lot more mix from Sylvalotl as they play a more tempo 2, a more delayed game plan, and it's working out very well. But at the same time, you are very light as Mr. Game & Watch. All it will take is one Wonder Wing to end it. So can you secure the kill, or will some insane form of chaos take hold?
Oh, just again, try and use that bucket at all times. It feels like it could be punished if he keeps going for it.
Ooh, nearly! The extension on the border is going to make that a lot more punishable. But I like the idea, because honestly, if that had not hit the border, I believe that would have taken it. Or at least put him in a very precarious scenario.
Yep. Hollow, it just seems to be all about pulling the trigger on those side Bs whenever he sees an opportunity to.
Indeed.
And I think against Game & Watch, it's something you do have to do if you're not punishing the opportunities the Game & Watch gives you, because they're not going to give you that many opportunities with the amount of safe buttons they have in their kit.
Indeed, indeed. It is a case of what can you do with the openings that you do get. And honestly, we saw a complete flip of the previous game. First game, Hollow was the one being patient, and Sylvalotl was having to approach. Second game, Sylvalotl is waiting for these openings and capitalizing on them. So it's a question of, ooh, both players doing game 3. Now that we've seen the adaptation gameplay, are we going to get an adaptation sandwich here? Are we going to be seeing the back-to-back-to-back? Or instead, will one player run away with the leads?
Yeah, back to PS2 for Game 3. We'll have to see if... wait, not back to PS2. We played Kalos Game 1. What am I on about? I'm just so used to
PS2 just feels like home, to be honest. Usually if you see PS2, you're like, back to PS2. They probably went at Game 1, back home.
But yeah, 55%, 59% already. Sylvalotl looking a lot stronger in this game so far. Gets a key down there, another up air, another up air. 103%. What option does Hollow have? Users are wondering to get out of disadvantage. That dash attack is not going to be safe, though. The jab not going to manage to kill at this early percent. Goes for the up smash, not punishable. I like the step back from Sylvalotl, seeing the Wonder Wing was coming and just trying to punish it, but not quite getting the spacing just about right.
Indeed, indeed. Another case of the right idea, but not quite the execution being there. But the patience is ultimately what matters, because that is the make or break of this game. We're seeing Hollow at the deficit and at an even larger deficit just because Sylvalotl was being able to wait for them. Hollow was playing a lot more patient of a game earlier, but is getting a little bit carried away with these Wonder Wings, approaching Game & Watch a little bit too much when you have the opportunity to seal up stocks like that. But as we said,
maybe it just doesn't matter.
Maybe this doesn't matter. Maybe you just need to get the kill, to be honest.
Maybe you just need to Wonder Wing again. Maybe that's the solution.
If it doesn't work once, try again. And that's exactly what's working out.
But I have been really liking the adaptations from Sylvalotl, seeming to see the opportunities where Hollow has been going for the Wonder Wings and maybe stepping back, trying to get that spacing right to punish it. Hasn't managed to get a hard punish on it just yet, but I definitely like the idea. Ooh, nearly managing to actually SD, but does get the air dodge back to ledge there.
I like the idea to try and check Sylvalotl in that situation by rolling behind and seeing what you do. But at the same time, you saw the fear in Hollow. Because, you know, once you're in CQC with Game & Watch, they have a frame 3, get me out of here, like, security officer that is Game & Watch up B. So, very precarious situation, but still, Sylvalotl finds himself at a disadvantageous position. What is their answer? How do they get out of this ledge trap? Because they've been here for 5 years.
Yeah, was that a 9 off stage, by the way?
I believe it was. You can't get 2 9s in a row as well, so it's definitely might need to refresh that before getting back.
Yeah, it takes the option off the table. Maybe he was trying to remove a number from the pool to increase the odds.
Indeed. Oh my god, they made that! That air dodge is insane. I thought with that jump gone, Game & Watch was finished, but Game & Watch is never done.
Game & Watch's buttons just aren't okay, but Hollow actually managed to get off ledge. Definitely looked like Sylvalotl was going to hold him there for a bit longer. What is Sylvalotl's landing option right now? Well, the option is to die, apparently. Just landing right in front of the Banjo, and the Banjo just hitting him right off the side of the stage.
We're seeing the patience once again. Hollow waiting for that landing option, immediately like, you know what? Every Game & Watch probably down is here. I'm just going to step back and wait, and that's exactly what Hollow did.
Is out of those Wonder Wings now, though, so isn't going to manage to get anything really to get out of disadvantage if he needs it now. Can he get back to stage? That chair is going to come out.
Ooh, I believe that up B, you see the confusion from Hollow, but I believe that up B put them in the Bloss zone because they carried that momentum and continued onwards. Very confusing situation, but regardless.
It was definitely a difficult situation without those Wonder Wings, though. Banjo does struggle to get back from like all the way in the Blast Zone without a Wondering option, especially against someone that can cover ledge as well as Game & Watch can.
Indeed, indeed.
But Sylvalotl is the one being kept on ledge right now. Scores, what can Sylvalotl do to get out of the situation?
The grenades are definitely what's keeping them confused. We're seeing the bucket eventually allowing to bypass that. But regardless, the eggs were kind of there as like an extra layer of confusion, but that grenade was ultimately just keeping them in the gulag. And speaking of the gulag, the up tilt sends you straight to hell. More like heaven, to be honest. But I send you up there somewhere. And that is not a favorable place to be.
That was a very nice combo right there. Banjo's berry is a very weird move because just how short of a time it buries for.
Exactly. If they're right there, it makes it even harder if they're right in front of you. But it's because being right at ledge, that meant there was no room to like run around or anything. It was just boom, you're here. You can only go one place, perish.
And it was up, really.
Yeah, the only place you're going is up.
And Hollow knew it and went, I can help you out there.
Don't worry, you want to get up there? Don't worry, I'll be there with you. Insane.
But we're having our 4th unique stage as we go into Game 4. And Sylvalotl looking to bring it back to a Game 5. And Hollow just trying to look to close it out with a clean 3-1. Scores, what are we looking for?
Well, I believe players' intentions can often be read through their stage choices, a lot more than people think. Smashville in particular is a stage where, like, I am very confident in my stage control, but most importantly, I like my ledge traps. And I want to kill you off of either off stage or via ledge traps. You'll see it time and time again because all you have to do with Smashville, in comparison to the longer stages, is you win neutral once. And the opponent's at the ledge, like you're already seeing one forwarder, and immediately Sylvalotl's not in the best position. And Hollow's, the thing that's allowed Hollow to run away in these sets has definitely been these ledge traps. So it's definitely an interesting counter pick from Sylvalotl, but at the same time, I guess it allows you to be closer to the opponent. So ultimately it is a case of like, what are your ledge traps going to be in response? And currently, Sylvalotl's yet to find an answer.
I guess Sylvalotl was thinking it gives Hollow less space to kind of keep away from the Game & Watch and goes, well, you have to CQC me if we're this close together. But I think Sylvalotl's overlooked one important thing, which now Wonder Wing's basically the whole stage.
Yeah, Wonder Wing covers the entire stage. And honestly, Hollow's been playing a pretty patient game at times, so ultimately, regardless of having to CQC or not, the openings are still there. You still lose neutral. You have a higher risk of losing neutral, but still, Sylvalotl working with it right now. We're seeing an even game at the moment.
Yeah, very, very nice indeed. But that Wandering is going to hit.
53%! What the? They were at 0 a moment ago.
I believe it clashed with the grenade as well. So
oh my god.
It compounded the damage of the side B with a grenade. But 86 goes for the berry, not managing to get the punish off. Goes for another berry. What's the punish?
This is brawl out here. We're seeing chain grabs. What the hell?
Goes for the 2-frame with the Wandering. Less scores, but not managing to connect.
Indeed, indeed. Sylvalotl has to find their way back in because currently that small size, that ledge trap advantage of Smashville is not working out in their favor.
Yeah, I'm not sure about this this stage pick. Very small, and I think Hollow's the one that's making the most out of the size at the moment with the Wandering just kind of being able to be pressure anywhere. Like how do you approach when the grenades cover everything, and if you get past, Wandering covers everything as well.
Exactly. Ultimately, the key adaptation that's going to need to be made here is stage control and disadvantage management. Because if Sylvalotl can keep stage control with Game & Watch Nair, Game & Watch upbeat, and just take their time a little bit more, then life suddenly becomes a lot harder for Hollow because you can't jump in with that central platform, and you can't really approach. You have a bit more trouble approaching from the sides with all that stage control. So, TLDR, Sylvalotl has to make every hit count. It's a big thing.
Yeah, and did keep about 30, 40 seconds of stage control right there, and has managed to get it back again. This is the kind of thing we're looking for, that Wandering not going to quite connect, but doesn't get punished for it. One more left this stock. Well, no more left this stock, but it doesn't seem to matter. He's going to swing the bird around and hit the Game & Watch in the face. Nearly managing to take the whole set right there.
That plus on shield, what the hell? They got locked into shield from the grenade explosion and immediately got grabbed afterwards. These ledge setups are very toxic. And truly impressive, to say the least. But Hollow is going to take it 3-1 over Sylvalotl. I think that Smashville pick really ended up favoring them at the very end, but we're seeing a very wholesome hug to finish it off.
Very nice set from Hollow.
Yeah. Stage control in their favor, the grenades. The Wonder Wing, as you said, takes up so much space. But most importantly, you lose neutral once and you're at ledge. If you're at ledge against Banjo, if that's the main area you're struggling in, you do not want to go to Smashville. You'd rather go somewhere large, like PS2 or Kalos, even Town and City. Because probably not Town because the horizontal blossoms, but like PS2 and Kalos, you know.
They tried most of those stages.
True.